Now, those of you that were here yesterday, you know that I had this ridiculous metaphorical boner over the dolphins getting high. You know, I geeked out about that. And for anyone that wasn't here, I'll give you a quick refresher. Turns out dolphins allegedly get high off of pufferfish. What they do is when you scare a pufferfish, it emits a toxin, and too much of that toxin can kill people. That's why it's a very big delicacy, and it's really dangerous to eat a pufferfish for humans and for, I think, pretty much any other species. But if they just emit a little bit of the toxin, it gets dolphins high. So what dolphins will do is they'll pass around a pufferfish like a joint. It'll scare the dolphin just enough that they emit the toxin, the dolphins get high. So they pass around a pufferfish to get high the same way human beings can pass around a joint to get high. I got really geeked out about this. I still am. I still think it's freaking awesome. So I wanted to talk about it more, but we ended up ending the show yesterday talking about Kurt Cobain. Yesterday would have been Kurt Cobain's 52nd birthday. So we ended the show, we begin the show and end the show with a chat. So we ended the show with a Kurt Cobain chat, which was very cool. I'm glad we did it, but I wanted to have a longer dolphin chat. So here's where I'm going with this. How do we know, and I'm going to go with we don't know this, we do not realize just how advanced dolphins are. Or any other species that has any type of language. Now, dolphins have a language. We've pretty much inferred that. Like, we know that they do have a language. So, we don't know exactly how advanced of a species they are. They could be higher than we realize. And I don't mean higher like the pufferfish is getting them really fucked up. I mean higher intelligence. More civilized, more advanced in their policies than we realized. And here's why I feel this way. So, as humans, we've accepted the truth that we can essentially never escape language. And, like, no matter what we do, we never get out of language. Even if I make a face at you, if I'm like, you're still responding with language. Even though I'm just using a symbol, I'm making a face, I'm doing a gesture, you're still responding with some kind of language. There's words going through your head. Hey, Ron's angry, Ron's emotional, Ron's being funny, Ron's goofy, Ron's weird, whatever it may be. Something's going through your head. We never escaped language. So, because of that, the oldest academic discipline in the world is a discipline called rhetoric, which is how we as humans interact with symbols and language. That's essentially what that is. And it's the oldest academic discipline in the world. How did that come to be? Well, it came to be because first we wondered about why are we here? Philosophy. Why are we here? What is our purpose? We're human beings. Naturally, we want to know what our purpose is. What the fuck is it? We don't know. So we wondered about that stuff. Then we realized we never escape language. Like I just said, we never escape language. Always language. We're always in it. So then we thought, well, gee, we can use language. And that's how rhetoric started. We can use language to persuade people, to get what we want, to make our own truths, or search for the truth. We can do all that stuff. So people became what were known as orators. They speak well. So what did they decide to do with this new skill they've discovered? Well, I'm going to teach it to other people, is what they thought. Hey, I'm going to teach you how to speak well, but you have to pay me. Okay, what benefit do I have by knowing how to speak well? Well, you can get what you want more often, which also includes convincing other people to pay you to teach them how to speak well. So, not only is it the oldest academic discipline in the world, but it is a pyramid scheme. And I would always, whenever I was teaching at community college, I always opened with that. The first day of class, I would teach kids. Well, they weren't all kids. Some of them were older than me, but sometimes just naturally, I would teach the students that the first day. And my whole point was I was just like, hey, if you're ever stressed out about a test, if you're ever really worried about something in school, a good way to keep it all in perspective is just to remember, hey, this all started as one big pyramid scheme. At the end of the day, that's all this is, one big freaking pyramid scheme. And that kind of, I don't know if it ever helped any of them. I have no idea if it ever helped any of them at all, but I'd like to think maybe it would. So, going by all this that I just said, we eventually realized we can never escape language. We wondered why we're here. We eventually decided, hey, we're going to use language. And an academic discipline started because of that. A job started because of that. The concept of work, the concept of exchanging benefits, right? Hey, you give me these monetary goods, or maybe you traded me some food from your garden, whatever it may have been, and I'm going to teach you how to talk well. And then you're going to be able to talk well, and you'll be able to teach other people how to talk well. So what I'm saying is, if any species has language, which we know that dolphins do, we have no idea the scope of how advanced they actually are. It's totally plausible that they have a marketplace. It's totally plausible that they exchange goods. Maybe they trade things because they can communicate. So, how advanced do you think they might be? Do you think they have thoughts about us? They might. We don't exactly know. I mean, we have, certain parameters of science that we can throw at this, right? Like we try to measure their intelligence using different tests, using different, mechanisms. But this is all in relation to us as humans. We're limited to us as humans. How do we know exactly how advanced they are with each other? And are we going to keep discovering more and more? Tom Brady says, I thought it was confirmed dolphins use babysitters for their young. They might. I don't know. I haven't heard that, but I think that's very possible. So that's my topic for today. Are species way more advanced than we realize? I think a lot might be, yeah. I really do think so. Melissa says, Dolphins question to us, why are you throwing your garbage into my house? Sanity is radical. I don't think dolphins have markets. They may communicate, but lack of opposable thumbs is a big hindrance. They can use their nose to just push shit around. And Melissa confirms, yes, they use babysitters. I haven't heard about that. That's freaking awesome, though. So do elephants and primates. Statutory says humans are pretentious monkeys. Daniel says dolphins are actually the 1%, and we just don't know it. They are the deep sea states. The deep sea state. The fact that we coined that term, I think that's a win. That's a win. Public Domain gives Flipper a shout out. A couple of you guys were giving Flipper a shout out. Garden Known says they don't seem to trade anything, so that's out. Do we know that? There is no point in trying to hold on to resources when you live in the ocean and have no hands. Dolphins intelligent is totally different. Yeah, but what if one of them has a certain type of fish, the other one wants to eat, and they're like, all right, well, if you give me 2 other fishes, I'll trade you. I mean, I don't know. There's a good chance it doesn't happen. Maybe they would just swim out and get their own, but I don't know. I don't think it's impossible. And Sanity is Radical says that dolphins have perfect communism. Shamu got shafted. Every creature at SeaWorld got shafted. We're not going to go into that. I actually almost said we're not going to dive into that, which had been a beautiful unintentional pun. We're not going to dive into that because otherwise we would spend the entire hour talking about this. But yeah, man, that is one place I would never go. And I went when I was a kid because I didn't know any better, and I was like 5. But man, yeah, that they shouldn't be doing that. It's not okay for SeaWorld to keep whales like that. It's just not. It's just not okay. Like, it just isn't. Anyway, we won't dive into that. That's a different story for a different day. Get your news on with Ron. Don't you want to know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. Get your news on with Ron. Don't you want to know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. You can tweet me an article at Ron Placone. We'll go through it together and make it our own. Get your